Hey, today's the 24th of November, 2025. This is a little early, but not only is it, what a lot of people call the holidays, whether you celebrate them or not, it's a time where your life is centered around what everybody else got going on. That'll be kind of like the dangerous thing of what I'm saying. No matter what you believe in, whatever the masses accept is going to be your primary field of operation. So we have Thanksgiving in a few days, and leading into the beginning, really, it began early this year, leading into the Christmas season. And again, like I was talking with my wife, is it's a little heavier this year from what I already noticed, is because people have lost so much hope because ain't shit out here worth hoping for. Not to keep beating a dead horse, but we've been treated to some of the most depressive and suppressive and stress filled energies this year because a lot of people would have had, and I'll say it, the stupidity of expectations. None of that shit got met, especially here in America. This what we thought we were going to see for a lot of people, what a lot of y'all thought you were going to see, you saw the opposite. And for the other section, what we thought we were going to see, we're seeing even more of it. And for those of us that try to warn y'all to stop watching, we sitting there watching both of y'all. You just unwilling to do anything different. So we're being inundated with an excessive amount of energies that are more favorable towards what I warned you about: seasonal depression, sad, and a suppressed energy. The other thing I will say before I get into this reading real quick is if you can't afford it, stop hurting yourself trying to get it. I'm sorry if you cannot unhinge yourself from holidays, especially in the commercial aspect of them. Thanksgiving ain't traditional Thanksgiving. It's a commercialized aspect of usury anyway. Christmas ain't Christmas. It's a allegory and alliteration and usurpation of a bunch of other older formats. Sol Invictus, Yule, Saturnalia, whatever you want to call it, the winter solstice. Everything that we have been taught that we have to support has been given to us to make sure that we support it. It's a mental programming. And it kind of gets into what I'm saying with this full moon. It's a super moon. It's the last full moon of the year. It's aka the cold moon, and it's in Gemini. You'll hear me always say that Gemini is the supercomputer. If you want to figure out the programming notes, use Gemini energy. If you understand how to tap into all of the 13 signs and stop operating from your big three and all that other format, Gemini is the one that has a good um, chance. Gemini energy is the one that has a good chance of looking at things for what they are if they can get out of their own head. If they can understand that the separation in their mind that they perceive is the initial trick, then they can start to see everything that's being thrown at them. So this super moon on December 4th, which directly for me says the ritual of being trapped, the ritual of balance. Think about what I just said. It's in Gemini. Gemini represents duality. Libra tries to make sense of duality. Gemini represents the programming itself. So on 12/4, and then like I did the planetary chakra assessment about a week or two ago, and I told you buy the cards. 12/3 might be a bad day, and I don't mean that in a oh the world blow up. I just mean it's a bad day for people. You're gonna take a lot of L's. Programming, we'll just say newer programming coming in to reinforce old thinking. So again, watch out for 12/3. So what I was going to do is traditionally using this Gypsy Witch, as I've shown you over a few other readings. 18 represents the moon, 19 represents the sun. You would normally take those out and throw them, but those are set meanings. I'm telling you, we're in an audible. They're just throwing shit at us because we're responding to anything they give us. When I say they, whoever is running the system, whether you want to call it the government, whether you want to call it the Jewish people, I don't care who you call it. Anybody who is mastering you and you haven't done anything to set yourself free, they're inconsequential. You ain't ready to do the work, so it don't matter who's pulling strings. Ta-da! So I'll shuffle. We'll throw the moon itself, and I'll throw them face down first. So here's the super moon itself, the cold moon. Holy shit, it's gonna be cold. That's a cold piece of work. You understand that? If you want to start talking slang, hold us to y'all. So the moon itself, and then we'll throw from today until we get to it. And that's going to be the energy surrounding it. So today is the 24th. Then you have the 25th, the 26th, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, the 1st, the 2nd. And remember, I'm telling you the 3rd is going to be a heavy day. So here's what the 3rd is. And I'm going to throw a secondary card for what the 3rd might be hiding. And then you have the 4th itself. So we'll start right there. So we'll start for the moon. The moon, what I drew, 9 of clubs in reverse. 9 is control. When it's in the bottom, your vibration is already controlled. Remember, this is the supermoon in Gemini. The supermoon in Gemini, the cold moon, is going to show where clubs, your fire, your energy is already controlled. The secondary number, 26. I wish people would understand that. Thank you. I wish people would understand that. This is your energy is already under control. In 26, we're already working your empathy. What am I telling you? This new moon, I'm sorry, this full moon, this last one in December, the cold moon is going to potentially only going to heighten or hyper up the energies already present. I'm telling you, subset, it's in preparation for the winter solstice. 12/21 is one of the most important days on a lot of people's calendars. It is the winter solstice. It is the end of the actual energetic year, and it is the imprint for the beginning of the year to follow. What comes after 25? This is 2025. What comes after 25? 26. We're already controlling your energy, and we're showing you what we need to see. Speaking from the system of control, we're controlling your energy, and we're already telling you what we want to see in 2026. I've been telling you for the last few years what we're going to see in 2026. Spiritual addictions, the year of empathy. People are going to get even worse from where they're already at now. Religious fanaticism is kicking back up on a hyper point. False spirituality is kicking back up. Hypersexuality, the need to not believe. We'll call that the atheistic formats. Experimentation. We'll call that the pre-entry points into your more occult type systems, your ATRs, your Wiccan and pagan spiritual occult type systems, chaos magic, things like that. People are trying to find an answer somewhere else where they didn't get an answer where they were already caught. We'll just use that. So the full moon is going to show you on December 4th, and I'm gonna do actually December 4th, but the December 4th. But the moon itself, the purpose of the moon in Gemini is to show you how your fires, your energy is already under control, and all we're doing is getting you connected to your traumas. 26, empathy, the things that keep moving you. Most people on this planet are only moved by that which they think they understand, even when they don't have any sense of awareness. So we'll go down through this real quick. Today, the 24th in correlation to how this full moon is building up, it is the 4 of hearts. Remember, I'm telling you, 4 is balance. 4 is a trap because I'm telling you balance is a trap. Balance means you're already connected to anything else that you give your energy. If you have a stronger connection to what you're connected to what you're attached to, than you do to yourself, you're already out of balance. I love my let's just be real with it. I love my family more than I love myself. It sounds cute, but it's unrealistic. You have to love yourself enough to be present to make sure that your family's safe. Because the minute that something goes wrong in your family, it becomes a condition, and now you're sick, and you're no longer either good to your family, for your family, and you're no longer good for yourself. So learn to love yourself enough to understand how to properly love your family. So I didn't mean to do that. 4 of hearts. 4, balance, hearts. Hearts represents your waters, your emotions. Remember, today is a day that kind of shows you how to stay in balance in the things that keep moving you. But the subset to that is this 17. 17 is the star card. The things I keep starring in. 17, 1 plus 7 is an 8. 26, 2 plus 6 is an 8. 8 represents the struggles in what you're thinking in. Hold us to you all. So if I'm only struggling in what I'm starring in, and I'm just trying to hold on and stay in balance with what I'm struggling in, do the math. If you stay more connected to what's showing you struggle than you do give yourself the permission to set yourself free, you are willingly enslaved. I'm not going to argue with you about it. So from there, the 24th will take us into the 25th. The 25th will show where your spades, your thoughts, five, movement. You're not even in control of your thoughts. Your thoughts have already told you how to move. The subset energy, that damn six. Six. Six is my foundation. And I'm telling you, in correlation to this full moon, our traumas is the biggest foundation in this realm. Everybody wants to talk about healing. Everybody want to talks about receiving something to offset what they never seen before or what they saw too much of. Those are traumas. So I've already been manipulated, is what this is. My thoughts have already been manipulated, and all I am doing is trying to find a way to get deeper into my traumas to figure out how to let them go. I'm trying to get deeper into the infection so I don't get sick. Please make that make sense. Because that's what you're saying. And I get it. It's what we've been tricked into thinking is that you have to go into the harm to learn to get rid of the harm. And then the only thing you do is keep on being harmed. So moving on to the 26. Ding. Moving on to the 26. Hola. The 26 is going to show us the six of diamonds. Holy shit. Remember I told you, you're only going to keep on moving and finding your traumas. And now that I've moved and found my traumas, six of diamonds, what I believe in my traumas, in the subset number, 51. 15 is the devil. In tarot, 15 is the devil. What's the other side of the devil? Deflection. The devil is the advocate for why you keep doing what you're doing. If you don't understand, if you can get past religious fanaticism, the devil is the advocate that will only show you what you're doing to yourself. 51, the other side of the devil. I didn't do it, the devil did it to me. So your traumas have already put you in a point of deflection. On the 26th, you're going to see, and 26 is an empathy day. 1126 says, I'm justifying my empathy. This is going to say, I am believing more in my traumas because my traumas show me where everybody else keep doing this to me. You're no better than that orange retard that is running the country. Anytime somebody says something to him, he already got an answer for why it's not his fault. Or even if it is his fault, he will make you feel so little about who you are that you already are off the mission. You're already off the mission for what the situation was. So 24th, 25th, 26th, on November 27th, it's not relevant right now. On the 27th, the Ace of Hearts. The Ace of Hearts is going to show you 11, what you justify. 1127, justifying what's got me enslaved. What's got me enslaved? The things I'm connected to that I think is going to show me the better me. And in this case, the Ace of Hearts, remember I told you hearts is your water. Ace is basically equivalent of one, but it's really the strongest one. I believe so much into what I keep creating. Dangerous. I believe so much into what I keep creating, and why I say dangerous, a lot of people don't own their energy as the creator. I believe so much in what's got me. I believe so much on what has created me. We'll call that, again, religious fanaticism, traumatic belief that somebody is doing more for you than you're doing for yourself. Remember the day before showed you where you're just deflecting from your responsibility, and you're easily able to identify the devils. The more devils you identify as what's being done wrong to you without taking accountability for yourself, the more gods you're going to need, or the greater you're going to need your God to be to come fight your battles, because you haven't done anything. So 24, 25, 26, 27. The 27 is going to show where you love what you keep creating. And the subset 11, justification. Remember I told you the full moon is in Gemini, which is basically separation. I see myself in duality. The 11 is the illusion of separation in justification. I justify seeing myself. And if you wasn't here at the beginning, the whole thing about this full moon on December 4th, it's going to be a chance for you to see why holding yourself in separation is part of the trick. So on the 27th, you're too in love with the trick. So on the 28th, which in my numerology system says 1128, says I'm justifying the distractions, because what's got me distracted what's got me distracted is the greatest source of motivation. Keyword belief. If it's easier for me to believe that somebody's going to save me and I haven't done anything to save myself, then I will learn to love my conditions. The problem with that is if the conditions are only left with you to keep you not working on yourself, willingly enslaved. So on 1128, the eight of spades, spades is my thought, eight is struggle. I'm only struggling with the thoughts. The subset number, 32. 32 is the element of air. It's your reasoning. I'm struggling with the thoughts, and they've shown me the reasons on why that's the best thing to do. So on the 28th, we might be treated with energy leading up to the full moon that is only going to show us to where everything we keep thinking about is what keeps manifesting. And because we keep justifying giving energy into the things that we no longer want to see, which is part of the problem. If you don't want to see it, do something different. If you don't want to keep seeing the shit show, do something different. Not keep giving all your energy to the shit show, waiting on it to stop shitting on you. You just fed it. So on the 29th, you just fed it. 11, and here's the dangerous part. 11, justification. 29 is the element of earth. In my card system, it's the element of earth, which basically says I'm connected to the strongest point of control. If you're a mass deflector and you can't do nothing without your fill in the blank, your ancestors, your Jesus, your Buddha, your whoever, I can't do this on my own type energies. On the 29th, the three of diamonds, that thought that you keep believing in is the strongest thing in you. And 48, you're trapped in that struggle. You're going to stay trapped in that struggle that already got you moved. So on the 29th, if the three of diamonds, three is your thoughts, the only thing you're hearing in your ear is the only thing you believe. And now, holy shit, 4 plus 8, 12. I'm trapped in the struggle, and 4 plus 8, 12 becomes my ritual. Once something becomes my ritual, 1 plus 2, 3 becomes the only thing you can think about. So on the 30th, where 11/30th basically says justifying what I keep coming over to, justifying my cycles. Remember, I just said that your reasoning processes, your your thoughts are the things that you keep trying to cycle through. But when in sense of talking about this full moon coming up, the whole thing was programming. It's in Gemini. What is programming you on how you think and why you think the way you think is the whole reason why you stay trapped in what you think. So on the 30th, the 7 of diamonds, 7 is self-awareness, 7 is the journey. It's in reverse. I'm not aware of who I am, and I don't even know where this is taking me. We'll call that the lemon theory. If you understand anything about lemons, you can put 95 lemons in a line. As long as that first one is going, the other 94 are going to go with them to include off the cliff. So this is, and I just posted about that because the main thing I need to say about that is 2026, the year of empathy and spiritual addictions. In Chinese astrology is also the year of the fire horse. I did a write-up the other day where it basically shows you to where everybody on that same journey could be going off the cliff, but if enough people are going off the cliff, then the masses won't see any danger. We call that idiocracy. If you see somebody in front of you jump off the cliff and you know that there's imminent danger in front of them, but you can't think for yourself because you're already too programmed and you must follow. We got shown that all year. We got shown to where, as far as politics, people believed in what they wanted to believe, and then they got shown everything that they didn't want to believe in. But because they have too much pride to admit when they're wrong, they'll stay with what's wrong until what's wrong becomes what's right. Unfortunately, the only way for what's wrong to become what's right is to get rid of everything else that's right. That's what you're seeing. So on the 30th, the 7 of diamonds says that you are only 3/8. The thought with struggle. You are connected to a journey that is not showing you anything except for what you are too hardened in and keep believing in, and it'll show you the 38, the thought that only has you in struggle. 3 plus 8, 11. The shit you keep justifying. 1 plus 1, 2. The shit you're too connected to. In the sense of this full moon, if the whole problem is to see the connection, the Gemini function, see the connection to the infection so I can get rid of it, not become it. This is parasitic existence. This is Borg mentality. I see the infection, but holy shit, Captain Picard, you about to become a Borg. So on the 30th, watch out of coming over to the cube and getting squared away. That'll take you to December 1st. December 1st, the whole month of 12, in my number system, the hangman, really all it says is the ritual. The whole month of December will just show you ritual after ritual after ritual. 12-1 is the ritual of your potential. It's the ritual of the illusion that has you under control. Holy shit. 10 in the reverse, hearts creating. 10 is choice. I keep seeing the things I keep seeing the things that present choices, but I'm too heavily invested in what's already been created. This again goes back to what I said about the maggots and the fanatics who could see where holy shit, what you thought was gonna happen ain't happening, but you don't want to jump ship because then that would mean that you would have to admit that you were wrong, and I'd rather be right while being wrong than being wrong and no longer right. And I did not stutter. So December 1st is going to show you where people are connected to choices that only reflect the things that they created, but it's only going to leave them the subset number 7 in reverse. Remember, I just told you 7 in reverse popped up right here. You believe in your journey, even though the journey ain't taking you nowhere. December 1st is going to show you what a ritual is. I don't care where I'm going, lemon theory, as long as there's others with me that think like I think. Holy shit. Gemini, cold moon, supermoon, let me tell you what to think. 12-4, the ritual is, let me trap you in, let me tell you what to think. 12-2, the ritual is keeping you connected. Holy shit, Gemini, there is only one brain, but if you think you can see yourself from duality, you split yourself. So on December 2nd, remember I'm telling you, 12-3 might be a bad day for us, realistically. But 12-2 is going to show you where you're only connected to seeing things that promote separatism. Yep. You're only connected to things that keep moving your energy. 5 lessons, manifestation, manipulation. Up top, we'll say manifestation. So that means something's going to pop up. Clubs, fire. Something is going to move my energy, and holy shit, that damn dangerous number 33, experience. The thoughts are going to go viral. The thoughts that already have me in separation are going to be the only thing holding me together. So December 2nd, you're only going to be collectively, we're only going to be moving into more experiences that we believe in because we have not become smart enough to believe in ourselves. So here we go with 12-3. 12-3, remember I told you a heavy day. What's going to be, well, we'll do it this way. What's going to be the gist of 12-3? Which 12-3 is a 33. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then the 3, 33, experience. 12-3 is going to show us an experience, but directly it says the ritual of thoughts. The ritual of telling you how to think. Programming. Hi, I'm a Cold War soldier. I grew up in Cold War era, but I actually went into the military during Cold War era, and it was a different fucking process. I may have caught the tail end of it, but I caught it nonetheless. Programming was kill a commie for mommy. We were taught that we had an enemy that really wasn't our enemy because their people was too busy teaching them that we were their enemy too. But when the common man got together, there was nothing between us except for the programming. Holy shit, this was a whole country. The whole people over there were taught to hate the whole people over here because the people over here are so busy hating the people in here, which is only a reflection where they hate themselves. You get that? The racism and hatred, the innate fear of realizing that you ain't who you think you are, means that you will love everything that you can do to keep everybody else from realizing it. Sorry. So 12-3 is only going to show us, God damn it, manifestation. 4 of clubs. 5 of clubs was we're going to take your energy and move it. 4 of clubs in reverse is we're going to take your energy and trap you in it. The subset number, we got the key to the trap. Why? Because we have you trapped. The other part of that, if you see that 44, 4 and 4, that is the master manifester. Sorry if you don't get that. That is the master manifester. On 12/3, something is going to manifest. It ain't gonna do nothing but lock us further away. Why? Because we're still trying to use the programming of what has us apart as what's going to hold us together. So this is why I drew this card right here, is because there's something deeper going on than just what's manifesting. God damn it. The thoughts that you keep on believing in. The thoughts, the three thoughts, spades, thoughts. Really, it's a subset 33. The thoughts that you keep thinking, number 10, will keep making all your choices. Remember how I tell you 10, the wheel of fortune, the Lilith energy. You're going to choose between the knife and the gun, but holy shit, Gemini, if I have two things to choose from, then there was the separation that I already believed in. The whole problem was you chose from something that you could choose to believe in, but you forgot to believe in yourself. I'm sorry, go outside. There's a dinosaur over there and there's a raging fire over there. Choose one. Excuse me. Why do I have to choose your shit in the first place? And did you put them there? See, we got questions. You brought me out here and you telling me to put myself in harm. Who are you? Instead of realistically, in order to get out of this realm, you got to start looking at who's putting things in front of you. It's not just as simple as wholeness, just be still and don't choose. Sorry, what I said at the beginning is even if you don't choose, if the masses choose for you, you get affected too. So on the 3rd of December, something's going to manifest because we keep choosing to follow the same thoughts, to keep producing the same level of experiences. And it was like I was talking to my wife earlier, and it was like Hitler built a ballroom too. Hitler sponsored a bunch of corporations that gave him money. Once they gave him money for the things he want, he gave them money for the things they need. Lockheed Martin, all these other little corporations who sponsored a ballroom but can't sponsor a meal for a kid. Where's your thought processes? You got money to build shit that is unnecessary, but you don't have money to fund the economy. And then you'll come up with a lie that holy shit, the program masses have already been taught to accept because they don't know how to think. Holy shit, 12/4, the Gemini full moon. You have already been placed under control because we have all your energy and we'll tell you what to connect to. Connect to the strongest trauma. What was the strongest trauma? That person over there is doing more to you than what I ever could. Look at that black person. Look at that white person. It ain't even as simple as what I was saying about Cold War. Look at that Russian. Look at that East German. It's not that simple anymore. It's much simpler. They got you fighting yourself from the lower level divisions. Look at that man. Look at that woman. You fighting on basic shit that the big shit is always safe. So then the full moon, then ain't gonna do nothing but amplify the energy already in use, or will keep you safer in control because you don't want any awareness for yourself. You're self-contained. The programming is already complete. You motherfuckers speaking to the collectives will reach for more programming. This is a reboot of what we saw in 2020 when people realized that COVID was somewhat real, but even though in saying that it was real, it was being sold in a much stronger fashion than what was actually going on. People's fear required them to stay safe, which means that they gave everything else the room to create danger. Take your time with that and let your life tell your tale. There was a problem going on, but because of the level of mass fear and people begging to be governed, make us stay in the house, make us wear a mask. Your unwillingness to think logically meant that you started to think from your traumas. Holy shit, the motherfuckers that programming was like, God damn, we only wanted a 300% return, but we already batting at 3 million. They're that easy to enslave? Holy shit, I didn't even really put a program in. All I did was put one command in and these motherfuckers took over for themselves. 12/4 is like, holy shit. They will control themselves because they don't understand their own energy, so they'll beg for me that ain't never showed them any love to teach them how to use it. So 12/4, God diggity damn. It's the 22. It really is. It's the 22. You may not see it, but remember I told you at the beginning, you probably didn't. I told you in this deck here, the Gypsy Witch, 19 represents the sun and 18 represents the moon. Let me make sure the moon didn't come out. The moon didn't come out, but the sun did. It is keeping you connected to what you're creating and let that be your source of power. This is your two, and this was in reverse. You are connected to what already has you moved. Remember, I told you your fear in this case, going back to the COVID analogy, people's fear ran the show. People's fear ran the show so much to the point to where you're with a garbage can in your head in the grocery store thinking that's going to make you safe, looking straight idiotic. December might be a repeat, a precursor to a repeat of the same level of idiocracy. You're only connected to what you love, and what do you love? Fear. I wish. I love you too. I see the matrix for what it is, though, from my perspective. It is your trap thoughts. And just not trying to be funny, but, and again, you can call me crazy or whatever, but I let my life tell my tale. If you don't become accountable for what you think and why you think, you will only stay trapped in thinking the same. And that is everything that came up in this reading. You will only stay connected to what you've been taught to love. And holy shit, 19, it's already got your power. It will become your sun. It will become the only source of nourishment on what you get. What's going on, Sabo? So, and I love you too. So, if you on 12/4, and remember I'm telling you on 12/3, watch out for some manifestations on the full moon. If I'm not mistaken, it's at 6:14 p.m. Eastern time. On December 4th, the super cold moon in Gemini, around 6:14 is the peak time. But if you just stay more connected to what's already got your power, and if you don't understand the moon's light is just sunlight and amplification, it's a transmutation effect. The moon is not a light source, it is a reflective source. If the sun has already lost its power to the moon, but yet the moon is in amplification under a full moon, but the sun is really running the show, you're already lost. The sun is running the show, but the sun already lost its light to the moon, and now the moon is amplifying its light, but you're still waiting to get back to the sun. How many things are in between you? Two. You're only connected to what you see. Holy shit, Gemini, I'm only connected to what I see. And I think if I can figure out what I'm seeing, Jedi mind trick, I might be able to figure out how to get out of the game. Remember a few minutes ago when I said if somebody tells you to go outside and choose between a dinosaur and an inferno, before you make a choice, figure out how that motherfucker knew it was already out there. Spoken as a trickster, as a in-betweener, as a watcher spirit, as a motherfucking reflection of everything there is, if it ain't your light, stop going into the fucking shadows. December 4th, realistically, December 3rd. December 3rd, don't go into the shadows and stop losing your light and expecting it to be given back in return. Wholeness. I said what the fuck I said. Resonance and ignorance. Both choices.